Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, Key of the Century. We are looking here at the GMC Cadillac dealership here in Greer. We're actually looking at Fred Anderson, and he's given us the opportunity to look at the new Cadillac Vistiq. Now, you might get these kind of confused because there's a Vistiq, an Optic, a Lyriq. There's a lot of X out here, right? And of course, don't forget the Escalade IQ, which I guess they don't want to call it Escalade IQ. So we'll just talk about the Vistiq for right now. This vehicle is going to become, I think, a very fan favorite because it kind of falls in line with, let's say, other vehicles in their similar class, something like the old XT5, kind of in that same boat there, or XT6. However, being that it's electrified makes it a lot more appealing. And one thing I like about it is the fact that it is bigger. It is a 7-row or 3-row passenger vehicle, so you do have the option to put up to 7 people in here. And it actually looks very, very good. So let's take a little walk around, and we're going to show exactly what we have that really stands out for this vehicle. So coming around, let's talk about this front end first, because I think this is where, you know, we showcase the lights here and how it's actually set up. One of the things I was told was at the very end, when those lights are finished, that actual cascading light effect here will also tell you what your battery charge percentage is. This is something that we know we've seen in the Hummer EV, but now the Cadillacs do it, which is really nice. And coming around to the side of the vehicle, we have this, of course, your charge door, still powered. I'm gonna say I kind of like the way this opens up a little bit better than on the Optic and on the Lyriq, because of the fact that when it opens up, it's tilted. So if you're bringing your charging cord around, it's not going to be impeding right here. It's actually got a little bit of a pivot. Those that open up this way or slide down maybe have a little bit more of an advantage for just about any way you can put a charging cord in. But when your door just swings open to the side, sometimes bringing a cable in, and those rigid cables can be very tough. So you do have a little more path to put everything in on the side. It is illuminated, so you do see everything on that side. You do have your CCS charge port here, not the NACS yet, which we know that's coming eventually. Let's push that in. And very smooth. Wintertime, certain areas that could be a little bit of an issue. Look at the body side mirrors, body color mirrors. And this is a luxury one, by the way. This is going to be like your base model luxury. Now they just consider it to be a luxury model, and there's other packages they add to it. So as we look at this, price standard is $77,395, but when you add in options and destination, it comes to $79,415. So the only option that's on here is the Stellar Black Metallic, which is the paint, and it does have somewhat of a metallic flake to it. When I first saw it, I thought it was a little bit of pollen on here, but of course it is the metallic flakes that you're going to see inside the vehicle. Same door handles as you see on the others. You just kind of pull open, and you have a really nice interior. You have the leather wrap upper up here. You have a carbon fiber-esque insert. Another leather here. This is a little bit more hard plastic. And of course you have your bins down here. Going to the side door, you still have the same kind of instrument clusters you're used to when it comes to adjusting your seats, heated seats. Once again, those 2-stage, whether you want just the back or you want the back and the rear. And of course, or back and bottom, excuse me. Then of course you have your ventilated seats, memory, and of course the massaging as well. And these are multi-way adjustable, and including your lumbar support. You also have all of your mirrors here for power mirrors, power folding, door locks, windows, and of course that traditional handle to get in and out. Illuminated sill plates here. You also have your really nice leather seats, very similar. The one thing I like about Cadillac and what they've done is they've put this same type of seat infrastructure in just about every one of the EVs. So the Lyriq has it, the Optic has it, but what the Optic doesn't have, like the Lyriq and the Vistiq and the Escalade has, is the embedded stereo headphones inside the seat headrest. Really nice piping right here, nice side bolstering, and it just feels really good and comfortable on your side of it. We're going to talk more about that instrument cluster in just a second. Let's go around to the back and let's look in the back seat back here. Now the back seat does have a little bit more room than what you would see inside the Lyriq. As far as the second row seat, the third row is in the back here. I don't think I'll be able to fit, but we'll see what it looks like if I try to fit in here. But you'll see there's various similarities as far as the seat design, which I do like the fact that they're keeping the same type of design across the back. You have your same cup holders here. You have a rear display, which controls all of your climate controls, your rear vents, and they also do have the side pillar vents, like I mentioned, that was not in the Optiq. USB-C ports down here at the bottom. There's 2 there with that same wall outlet. And in the rear passenger, third passenger, you also have USB-Cs on both sides, rear vents back there as well, which is really nice. And they're positioned to where you should get good airflow. Now come around to the rear, you'll notice that you've got a very similar style and feel to some of the other, like I said, the XT6 and so on, but you still have that very much EV feel. Push the badge to open up the liftgate. You see you have your camera with a washer. And then of course inside here, you've got your LED lights on top. You also have your 12-volt outlet back here, power rear seats. Just tap those, and that will actually drop both those seats down. And you can see that one stopped because it got stuck on that seat. And then we can drop that down. And you can see now you have all your floor back. And this gives you a huge amount of space back here for carrying cargo. You can even throw in a small little twin size mattresses if you wanted to, an inflatable mattress for a nice little camping trip. The nice thing I like about Cadillac too, they do include an LED light up here to give you a nice good lighting below versus just inside. This is kind of a tall height to pick things up, so it may be a little bit of an issue for some. However, you do have some underfloor storage here. There's your charging cable, the actual carrying case for it, and then a little cubby hole on the left side over here for you to put little things in when you're traveling. Okay, so we're coming to the mid seat. We've got the ability, of course, to recline. We know that's there, and the seats are adjustable. So I can grab this bar down here at the bottom and slide that back. And of course, lean that back a little bit as well using this handrest. This little button here lets it go forward to drop it down. And as we get in, we can see that we've got plenty of room back here. Looking forward into the front dash, very similar design as what you would see as a alternative to what you see in the Optiq and the Lyriq, but same size display. Actually, I think it might be a little bit bigger than what's in the Optiq, but the exact same size as within the Lyriq. This sunroof does open up, so you do have that in here. Of course, it is a nice panoramic sunroof that goes across the 2 front rows, but the third row also has their own little roof that's back there, and I think you can get a cover to pop in place to keep them from getting too hot whenever it's nice and sunny. Okay, so now we're getting back into the front seat, and once again, we have this very similar feel, which is what I like. This is the big thing about this particular vehicle though, is not only do you have everything here on your gauge cluster, but you also have this lower gauge cluster, which removes the Lyriq and the Optiq's physical buttons. So what that means is now we actually have a screen that some people may not like, others will love, because we do have all your climate controls down here. This includes all of your AC controls, rear defroster, front defroster, your sync AC and heat speeds, your third row, second row, all those are controlled right from this panel, which is really cool to see. You do have the ability to kind of change these different scenes and different styles for your ambient lighting. And it does give you, if you go to customize, you have 3 different areas in which those lights will show up within the A and B pillar, the doors, and the rear doors in the second row. And you can do things like a halo glow. You can, change it to like green, for instance, if you want to do that. But very easy for you to kind of adjust your styles here. Drive modes, let's see what that looks like. Very similar to what we saw on the Optiq. Yeah, so you've got your vehicle settings, you got sport, snow and ice, 1 pedal driving on and off. And then if I tap here, I didn't go through this as much, but this is a customizable display. I can tap on the little pencil here and I can select what I want. So if I want to see the efficiency of the car, I can see my efficiency range. And if I want to see Google Maps, or maybe I want to put the audio up here, I can have my audio set up. So now we have a customizable display that we can change based off of what we need. Going back home, you have your My Cadillac window. I didn't show this last time, but this will take you into the My Cadillac portal for your car. We'll back out because we don't have that set up right now. Swiping over to the next screen, you have your Wi-Fi hotspot, you have your maps, your phones, and all your other controls. And let's go to controls real quick. So inside controls, you have your glove box, and let's see if that pops down. Still kind of a shallow glove box, but it is illuminated down there, which is nice. Felt line, very soft and dampened, which is really good. Dome light controls, power window lockout. You have your traction control. Let's look at your cameras. Cameras here, roughly the same as what you saw in the Optic. Like I said, the Lyriq seems to have a little bit better quality camera overall, which doesn't surprise me because it was the first one. So you make your adjustments and changes as needed. And then of course, we're gonna exit out of this and you have everything else in here, high beam controls, auto park, swiping over. Last one, you got your motion sensor inside, helps to determine if someone's in the car. Like if you left a child in the car by accident, that's also really apparent right here with those little seat sensors. And then of course you have your rear lock controls to keep people from getting out of the back doors. And then if I hit see more controls, this will take me into more things around universal remote control for your garage door, your drive settings. If I want to adjust like traction control on and off, one pedal driving, I can go directly into those, lane keep assist. So you have a lot of functions and features in here, which is really nice. The camera mirror, once again, like I was telling you before, you have to take a second to adjust, but you can see the clarity in here. We're inside the dealership, so it's probably, 25% darker in here than it is outside, just because of the tinted windows and the artificial lighting, but you can see how good clarity and quality it is inside this mirror. If I flip it down, you can then see me, of course, and then flip it back up. Like I said, you do have everything else is roughly the same up top, sunroof, camera, OnStar, your map lighting, all that stuff is the same type of, vanity mirrors. And this does, of course, have Super Cruise here, standard, and you also have your sensors as well. I remember talking about brake hole. On the Optic, the brake hole was actually here on the left-hand side. I missed it earlier, but that's where it's at. But this particular vehicle does not have it, or at least it doesn't show up here. It actually could be in, yeah, it's right here. Auto hold is inside the settings. So they moved it off of a button and put it on here. So that's nice to see that it's still there. It's just I missed it earlier on the Optic video. But either way, we know it's there. So if you are looking, definitely something for you, good for you to kind of check out when you take it for a test drive to see if you like using the brake hole. Now, I did want to mention one thing, going back to the map side. So when you're in the map view, you can see your speedometers down here in the back. You can see what the rated speed is on the road that you're on, because it does have those sign recognition sensors. And you can see this has got 249 miles with roughly 80% of battery, looks like. Let's go to energy and see what we're at. Yeah, I'm gonna say about 75, 80% of the battery is left, because it's showing 249. Yeah, that's the one thing I think I would like to see a little bit better, is to see if there was a way to make that stay up there to tell you what the percentage of your battery is. I believe there is. I have to look at this to find out where, but I believe I've seen it before. I saw someone showcase it, which I thought it was. Now, if I go to energy info, it will tell me what my energy usage is, but it did not record the state of charge, so by percentage. So comment down below if I missed that and you guys know where it's at. Please throw it in there, because I think that's something that could just be easily added by software onto the screen itself. Now, we know GM has done really good about adding additional software and updates to all of their vehicles to make it charge faster or more efficiently, to give it, some tweaks to some of the things. But that's the one thing I'm not sure if there's going to be a possibility that someone actually says anything. So I go down here to assist, looking at this part of it. Here's your assist controls, there's your brake hold, kilowatt range, and of course we have all of your other gauges in here. So overall, the steering wheel is the exact same. There's no difference here, which I like the fact that they're using the same steering wheel. Now I will say they kind of did a little bit of a step back. Down here at the center, this is rubberized down here at the bottom, and I'll show that a little bit better in a second. And then inside the storage, you've got plenty of storage down here, which is really nice. You do have your cup holders, same scroll wheel and volume control. All that's built in really well. And this whole piece right here is solid. You know, it just feels like it's not going anywhere. So right here, you got like a little storage. You could probably put pins or even store your phone if you wanted to. Let's see what that looks like if I were to stick my phone in there. So you could have it sitting like that. The other thing is you have your wireless charging pad up front, and you can see where those sit. Now, I don't really like the placement of that, but it does keep it out of the way. And this is where I was thinking below. I like the storage here. My wife would like it because she could put a purse down here. But this is not felt line like the Optic. The Optic was felt line. This one was more kind of a rubberish kind of feel. So a little bit different there. So overall, the Cadillac Vistiq here is going to be one of those vehicles that you do want to put on your list to come test drive. So look at it from like this. You have small, medium, large, and extra large. If you want to look at it from the Optic being the smaller, you have the Lyriq being the midsize, the Vistiq being the large, and of course the Escalade IQ is going to be that extra large. But overall, they got a good pricing strategy from $55,000 all the way up to $130,000, and you got 4 EVs that you can choose from. So take a look at it, and if you get a chance, come to your local Cadillac dealership, or if you're here in Greer, stop by Fred Anderson and check it out.